இந்த வீடியோவை வழங்குபவர் AS23. டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன்ல இருக்கிற லிங்கை கிளிக் பண்ணி 25 லட்சம் ரூபாய் வரைக்கும் வின் பண்றதுக்கான வாய்ப்பு பெறுங்க.
Somebody else wants to say hi to you?
Hello.
Biggest fan. Oh my god, I'm shaking. I'm ஆரம்பிச்சா சார் உங்களை பார்த்தோன்னே பாருங்க. So what do you want to say to Mani?
What do I want to say to Mani sir? When I see Mani sir, I just want to give him the tightest hug and thank him for changing.
No hugging.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, from a distance, sir. Virtual hug.
The line that has become eternally associated with me and Alaipayuthey, which is now another umela asapadla ni alga irken kuda nenikala ana adha nadadrum bayama irukku. This being such a dialoguish line, but you still let it be in the film. What was that?
Hi, Mani.
Hi, Mani sir. How are you?
I'm good. All well?
I know. All well. Thank you. Yeah, this as well as both of us can be inside confined areas. So it's on hold right now because we can't move out of the house. So I'm சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லையா சும்மா இருக்கிற சங்க ஊதி கிடக்கா அப்படிங்கிறது அதான் நடந்துட்டு இருக்கு இப்போ. Trying to touch areas that shouldn't be touched. But so I have to ask you a couple of questions. First of all, congratulations. It's 20 years of Alaipayuthey today.
Wow.
Today? Yes?
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's the celebration today. Yeah.
That is true. So I've been inundated with questions. So one of the things that I wanted to ask you, Mani sir, and I think I'm speak for a lot of people, is that you don't seem to be the kind of person who goes out and mingles socially so much, or goes out and travels on your own so much. But all your films, and it's spectacular, the variety of films that you've made and made sense of with your movies. How do you gather the relationships so easily? I mean, the kind of relationships that people share that are so intimate that one is able to see only in your movies, the understanding of people. How are you able to gather these experiences as a writer? How are you able to portray that so really?
Okay. I will not say that you're as old as I am, but if you can see it and think that it is relevant for over a period of time, if as an audience you feel that this belongs to the 80s, 90s and 20s, 2010 and 20, if you're able to receive it, then you should be able to bounce it back to it's not really you don't have to go out of your way, you don't have to go and try to gather things. It comes in as a part of growing, as a part of existing in this world, as part of interacting. So it is, and it's not as though the basic ideas really change. It's not as though there's been a drastic change in ideas. I think whatever is happening in 2020 was also felt or probably in the mind when you were younger. So it is
True.
not, I think, so to an extent you can easily identify with it. I can, see that it's happening today, but it was on thought of those days. So that's all.
So when you see a relationship between Nayakar and his people, it's not like you've actually gone and spent time with the Don, or when you see the kind of relationship between in OK Kanmani or in Chakka Chavandavanam, it is so real the way you are able to portray those relationships. So my question to you is, do you read about these people? Do you actually spend time with these people? How do you acquire this fantastic ability to portray them so really, be it a defense, be it Dawn, be it romance, be it a middle class family in Maniratnam? That's my question to you.
Yeah. To an extent, I think, we have to understand that. We have to be there, gather whatever you can, or sense whatever you can. And, sometimes you just need to get a sense of it, to get the truth inside.
Project it, you mean?
Yeah, truth inside it. I'll give you an example for Nayagan, for example. I was lucky to have an assistant director who was a part of Mudliyat.
Oh.
And he used to wear only white and white. And I didn't know that he was that. And luckily he was there through the film. So we could get few, things like that. He would sit on the floor and not on a sofa. When the sofa is there. That kind of one element, helps you deconstruct a character and then expand on it.
Last question, sir, which I'm supposed to ask you because it's Alaipayuthey Day. We've seen all your movies, and a lot of your dialogues have become iconic. You know, from Nayakan's film where he says "Ninga nallavara kettavara" to a lot of these movies throughout history. But they've all been single lines. You know, lines that have not been tried to go out of their way to make it sound like dialogues, but they became eternal after the film released. My question to you is, during Alaipayuthey, the line that has become eternally associated with me and Alaipayuthey, which is now under the it was like a 6 lines. And I know that you being a realistic kind of a filmmaker, you must have cringed at this being such a dialoguish line, but you still let it be in the film. What was that change that made you decide that this has, because I've never known you in any of your other films to have such long dialoguish lines in a movie. They're monosyllabic like you.
He said you should see Irivar.
Oh, no. But they were not meant to, they were meant to communicate. In a film like Alaipayuthey, this was dialoguish. Or that's what I felt. And did you feel it there, or you thought it went with the natural flow?
Of course not, of course not. You just felt, I mean, I had 2 trains at the same time. I was only worried about catching it. I couldn't be bothered whether it was 4 or 5 lines. As long as you said it correctly in one take, I'm fine.
Yeah, I remember. Yes, I remember that clearly. It was a tough day. We had the trains only for a few hours, and honestly, I never thought it would become iconic lines. And I am, very grateful to be associated with those lines.
Good for you. It was made for you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm going to leave you with other people who are dying to ask you questions.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Be safe.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
sir. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, sir. Somebody asked him a question. Why doesn't he act? So,
sir, don't act, sir.
Sir, நாங்க என்ன பண்றது sir? We won't, as it is, எங்களுக்கு தூக்கம் வர மாட்டேங்குது. நீங்க ஆக்ட் பண்ண அப்புறம் அவ்வளவுதான் sir. We'll be dead.
No, அதே பயம் தான் எனக்கு.
பயம் இல்ல sir. You don't know, like you ask Hasnima what I keep telling her. என்னை உங்களை பார்த்தாலே வாய்க்கு பேச்சு வராது. We are completely awestruck. We have dreams about you. Vanda sir, it will be too much for us. And somebody else wants to say hi to you.
Hello. How are you?
Sir.
Anandita.
Hi,
Anandita.
Auntie.
Hi, how are you?
Sir, அவ அழ ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டா சார் உங்களை பார்த்தோன்னே.
Oh my god, seriously?
என்ன பண்ண?
Sir, I'm your biggest fan. Oh my god, I'm shaking.
Thank you, dear.
அது fan moment.
She's emotional. She's seriously emotional.
Totally emotional. அவ அழ ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டா. அங்க பாருங்க.
Oh my
Sir,
god,
அதுதான்
Mani,
கேட்டேன்.
you have to now make up. What are you going to do to make up? You made a girl cry.
I'll sort it out.
இல்ல sir.
Now we'll have a chat separately.
இல்ல sir, that's what I wanted to know. What is it you do with your films that people from all generation, me, before me, my daughter, you completely charm them? What is the magic, sir?
That's what I was saying. You know, it's a magic that you have to hold. It's like a magic potion. So better not reveal it.
Sir, இன்னைக்கு உட்கார்ந்து she was sitting and watching Dalapadi.
Sir, I watched 2 of your movies every day. Yesterday I watched Maunaraga with Roja. Today I watched Talapati. Oh my god, I'm shaking.
That's so nice. That's so nice. நான் நந்தன் கிட்ட சொல்றேன். உங்க அப்பாவை நீ எப்பவாவது இப்படி ஏதாவது சொல்லிருக்கேன்னு சொல்றேன் நந்தன் கிட்ட.
But sir, seriously, I will. Your films are something which is there within us. We literally live with your films. When Maddie was talking about the dialogues, your films, your dialogues, it's every day for us. So thank you so much for being part of our everyday life, sir. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Kush.
Thank you.
Sir.
Okay. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Hello.
Hello.
Sir!
Hi, Aditi.
And what was
Hi,
that photo
sir.
with you giving him a rose and all that? When did that happen?
That was Mani sir so thrilled that we had actually finished KV and we had wrapped the film. And he was so relieved that he did not have to teach me one more word of Tamil.
So what do you want to say to Mani?
What do I want to say to Mani sir? When I see Mani sir, I just want to give him the tightest hug and thank him for
No,
changing
no hugging, no
my
hugging.
life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Social
from
distance.
a distance. From a distance, sir.
Come
From a
on.
distance. Virtual hug. But
Virtual hug.
I've always, whenever I see Sir's films, and I watched Maunaragam recently, and that was the one of his films that I hadn't watched, and there were subtitles available online, and I watched it. I wanted to basically know, because Sir's films, the casting is always, especially of the protagonist, is so it's almost like that person was made for that part, and I want to know how it is that Sir sometimes just finds those people when nobody knows them, or I don't know. I remember he even said something to me when he was taking my test, and I found that really incredible, and it changed how I started working. But what is it that Sir thinks about when he casts?
It's about casting Mani.
Yeah. I'm looking for somebody who will give me the least trouble.
Me, I win.
No, sometimes you just have to feel it's right, and it's not always your first choice you get sometimes, but it could be for the better, because you try not to, go for the stereotype. You have a character and you know that somebody is the right fit for it, and you try to avoid that. You don't, so that the character comes through and not the actor's persona that comes through. So it is just, casting is really 50% of the job, I think. If you cast well, and if you have a correct sync with that person, then your job on the set is so much more easier.
And so, does it, sometimes when you're when you've already written the film, and sometimes maybe you have somebody else in mind, and then somebody else comes, how does that change the whole?
I think it makes it better, maybe, so that it is, you find another interpretation. I'm not looking for somebody who will do exactly what I say.
Yeah.
I'd like the actor to put in some part of himself or herself into the role, so that we get something which is more than, there's a synergy, and it is not what is there only on the paper, but something that comes alive. So you're looking for that extra thing, and if it can be somebody who's, much against your grain also, might do completely different from what you're saying, or that, may not agree with what you're saying, and therefore do it slightly differently, but all of that adds.
I remember, sir, when I came to your office the first time, and I was so nervous, because remember I had that big dialogue in Tamil, the one I say to my grandfather. Yeah. And I was so nervous, and I kept, and I told Mani sir, it was my dream, childhood dream to work with you, and I'm going to mess it up because I don't know the language. And sir said, see, I don't want to check if you can act. That's not the thing. I want to see if you respond to me as a director. What I tell you, can you take that in? It just changed my whole, it just opened something in my brain, and I just felt so free after hearing that it really made. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, but that's all fine. But what did you mean in your childhood?
Okay, not childhood, maybe little more than. But it's like that forever.
Thank you, Aditi.
Huh?
He's not answering your questions anymore, since you said you were a child when he was an adult, so it's not going to happen. Okay? When he was
come on, sir.
Thank you, Aditi.
Thank you.
And stay safe. Stay safe. No hugs. No hugs.
No, okay, later, but for now, virtual hug. To both.
Okay, bye.
Bye.